Okay, hi everyone. I'm Lexi, and I really tried to make this into a PowerPoint, but it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. My health and wellness philosophy, I feel like to really understand my philosophy, you need to understand me, and putting that into slides and doing a voiceover just like I said, it wasn't working. So this is me, and this is, I think, going to be a lot better. So, let's get right into it. So, I started off in biology. My bachelor's is in biology, and I think I've mentioned this before in my introduction. So, my bachelor's is in biology, and I had full intentions to do genetic research. Loved it. It was really interesting to me. And as I was going through that program, I still loved the body. I loved biology, but I didn't feel it was as practical as I wanted it to be. I realized I didn't want to be in a lab with not people. So at the same time, I took a nutrition uh, elective, and it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I also took a weightlifting class because I was required to have like a physical education course. So it was really interesting. I really liked it. And it kind of lit that fire in me again. And so at the same time, my mom had a stroke. So she was 39 at the time. And so it really kind of hit home for me like, okay, taking care of yourself, preventative measures, nutrition, physical activity. Okay, so after I finished that degree, I went to get a degree in nutrition because then I was going to be a dietitian. And I worked at Houston Methodist Hospital, and it was great. Loved it. I was on a floor with mostly renal patients and loved my patients. They were amazing, but I would see them come back. And that was, if you are familiar with renal patients, there's a lot that kind of goes into it, and kidney failure is a lot to deal with, and you do have to take care of your body or you're going to come back. So I was on that floor. I saw a lot of long-term care patients, and they would leave, go home, they'd be released, they'd come back, and that really showed me that I didn't want to be on the treatment end. I didn't want to keep giving these people the same treatments only for them to come back. And um, that's where I really shifted to the preventative end of health and behaviors. So was a personal trainer, and with my clients, I encountered a similar situation where we would be together for this hour, but what we did in that hour didn't negate the other 23 hours of their life. And it really showed me that, like, this has to be a really holistic approach. And it also taught me that many people do not have a knowledge problem. We know to eat right and exercise and fruits and veggies and water, and I know I've been taught that my entire life. And I feel like in my experience, many people are very aware of these are the things that I need to do, but it's more of a matter of how do I do it. And this where we kind of actually get into my health and wellness philosophy. So throughout all this, I feel like there's a theme in my life, but it's been very hard to really pin down what it is that I want to do and how to accomplish this. And I read a lot of different books. My one of my favorites being Grit by Angela Duckworth. If you have not read it, read it. It will, like, yeah, it's life changing. So in the book, she talks about her research with talent versus effort. And basically, she has research showing when you put in the effort, like that beats talent out every time. So, also in the book, she has you kind of write out like what's your mission? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And when I did that, I came up with I want to share what I know with others so that they can improve their quality of life. And this gets into my health and wellness philosophy. That is my mission. This is all that I want to do is share my knowledge. I want to share my knowledge because for most people, it's not a matter of what to do, but how to do it. And being a specialist in behavior change and focusing on behavior change, that's the knowledge that people lack. How to apply this into their lives. So, sharing my knowledge, I intend to work in academia, whether that's teaching, research, writing books, whatever, consultations, like that's what I want to do is be able to share my knowledge so that others can improve their quality of life. This is also, I was very particular with every word in my mission, and so that others can improve their quality of life. I don't want to tell someone what to do and they just, if they don't want to do it. And during this course, we've seen some things that kind of say, like, okay, we have to meet people where they are. And I think that is a big part of being a health educator, meeting people where they are and helping them get to where they want to be. And me sharing my knowledge so they can improve their quality of life. That autonomy is extremely important to me. When we did the original philosophy assignment, and it asked, like, what do you value? And I found that my values all kind of aligned with acceptance and freedom, understanding, knowledge, and I do like structure, so it kind of structures in there too. But really, I think it's important as health educators that though we might be the experts in nutrition or fitness or whatever, they are the experts in their body and their needs and their desires. And this whole experience is intended to be a collaborative effort. And I think it's extremely important that our clients, patients, whatever, they have autonomy. And like, it's not going to work if we as health educators push our idea of health onto them. And as the health education profession evolves, I think that's really, really important to take a step back and kind of realize what has been happening with health for a while now. When many people think of health, they have a very specific idea of what health is. Many people believe it to be white, middle class, able-bodied, and they think of like a really fit person. Like when you think about fitness and health, like think about all the images that were shown, and so many people don't fit in that idea of health. And it's hard to get someone to be healthy when they feel like it's not attainable for me, that I do not identify with that I cannot be healthy because of, and they list their limitations or because of who they are. And that's one of the big things that I want to work to kind of like alleviate. It's really important to me to increase health literacy and kind of bridge that gap between the image that many people have of health and who they are. And I think that first starts with, learning more about your body, learning more about what health is, learning about how they can incorporate healthy behaviors into their life, be it they have some sort of physical or mental disability, or they might not look exactly like the image of health. I really enjoy the health at every size model because for many, many years it's been a very slim, slender figure or like a big muscular figure has been kind of like the face of like health and fitness. And I've met with so many people who just felt like, I don't feel comfortable at the gym. I don't feel comfortable to work out. Like, I need to lose weight before I go to the gym. And that's, I don't want to say insane, but like that's such like a hurtful thought to think that like, oh, as I am now, I cannot go to the gym to improve my body, or some just different things like that, or like, oh, I don't see a lot of people with type 2 diabetes, living a quality life. Like everyone I know with diabetes is in a wheelchair, they've had something amputated, and that's just the life that I'm meant to live. And I think as health educators, like we are in a very unique position to break that and really give these people hope and encouragement to let them know that health can be a part of their life. They can increase their quality of life. Like, we just need to change some behaviors, and here is how you can do that. So, with that, out of all the different philosophies we've looked at, the behavior change philosophy is very much my favorite and what I intend to use going forward in my career. Like I mentioned, it's extremely important. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that meme where it's like obesity runs in my family, and it's like because nobody runs in my family. And I think about that, and I think about, okay, it's not destiny. Like, you don't, it's habits, and habits get passed down from generation to generation to generation. And when you think about the habits that you have, like, more than likely it's things that your parents or guardians did, or your grandparents, and they do that because it's what they're used to, what their parents did. I especially think about with like food products. Like, when you really think about it, why do you buy the bread you buy? And more than likely it's because your parents bought that bread, and that's what you're used to. um, Physical activity, like, were you ever taught to lift weights or exercise? Like, did your parents or guardians, like, were they physically active people? If they were, more than likely you are. If they weren't, more than likely you weren't or aren't. And it's hard to change those habits because it's going against what you're used to. And I think, like I said, as health education professionals, we are in a very unique position to share what we know with others so they can improve their quality of life. And that's the heart of my philosophy. That is my mission. That's what keeps me motivated. So, doing this video, it's the end of the semester. It's like, I have so much to do. I'm overwhelmed, but like, I have my whiteboard, and like, you see how I broke down all the words. It was very intentional with it. But I have that just up in my room, and I write it down in different places, and that's really what gets me through. Like, this is why I'm here. This is why I wanted to be in this program. This is why I will continue on with this program and afterwards, to complete my mission of sharing what I know with others so they can improve their quality of life. So, thank you guys for making it this far. I know I can be a bit long winded. This is something really important to me, and obviously I'm passionate about. And yeah, none of this was coming through on my PowerPoint. So, thank you all for this, and that's my presentation.